Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's somehow my camera is lagging, so I will switch it off this time. I hope you won't be mad at me, but all right. Let's continue with tonight's webinar. It's 7 p.m. here in Estonia, and then we're going to talk about some crazy new news, which are really good for us and for all the investors and supporters of the SKYWAY community project and the SKYWAY technology. My name is Mihkel. I'm from Estonia, and I've been a SKYWAY investor for about 3 years now, a little bit longer. And this has been a great path for me to take on and to be the supporter and broadcaster of this technology, because this really is a revolutionary time or revolutionary technology to be here at this moment with all of you together. All right. But let's see. First of all, we will take a look at some pictures that has been done. I have shown this previously as well a few times, but I decided still to show you, to remind what has been achieved already in United Arab Emirates. And as we know, the Innovation Center is the second certification and demonstration center within SKYWAY technology. So or for SKYWAY technology, and the first one is located in Belarus near Marina Korka. I have been in both of these sites myself, and I must say it's really great to see how how everything has developed within so few years. And as we know, back in 2015 remarks the date or the time when the first actually the land was allocated to Unitsky and to Dr. Unitsky and SKYWAY for the first time in Belarus. So that is the time when everything started materializing, so we can say, because the idea is not that new. About 40 years ago, Anatoly Unitsky already thought about the idea of going to the second level and about the technologies which could help people to get there. And as we know today, we are here where this thing has this idea has materialized, and then we have really these technologies to ride with. But all right, let's see more. Another angle, from another angle, the same picture. And then this is the previous two pictures. That one was the first track that was constructed in Sharjah in United Arab Emirates, and it's 400 meters long. But this is the first ever wooden house, so absolutely first and the only wooden house that has been officially constructed in United Arab Emirates. So this one also shows how great relationships we have with the local government there. And the idea of this house is to fully maintain itself. So basically make water, make the atmosphere in the room, the temperature, electricity, food, all these things. So that's why it's called Eco House. All right, and this is the Tropical Unicar driving on the 400-meter track structure. And this is very special because this is also luxurious. It has 4 seats, and then it has everything that is needed for a luxurious drive from one point to another. And here, some months ago, the tests with people also started, and then to monitor the comfortness and then the usage of the cabins and so on, to get the psychological aspects in the game, so to say, as well. And this woman here on this picture is one of the journalists who also visited the park and made a great story of it. Well, and here is also one revolutionary achievement of SKYWAY, and this is the sea container transport, the Unicorns. And this is on the monorail, as you can see here. And the second track should be ready as well quite soon, by the time when Expo 2020 starts. And on the second track, there will be the heavier sea container, the 40-foot long and weighing tens of thousands of kilograms. And this is the smaller one. But I will come back to the sea containers and the track structures soon. All right, and here it is, the latest and one of the greatest news I have to cover today. And this is that the SKYWAY technology has been certified in the United Arab Emirates, and this is the time or the event we were all waiting for. And basically, this is for the track structure, the ports, and then the stations. So it covers all that. So basically, we should be able to construct now the track structure you can see behind Anatoly Niski and the other two men right now. So let's see and wait what will happen now, since we have the certification, and then which projects will be the first one to implement in the United Arab Emirates and in tropical climates as well. Because as I mentioned before, we have two sites, one in Belarus, and Belarus is mainly for Russian. Also there are multiple models already certified, but those are by Russian and Belarus standards. And now here in United Arab Emirates, we have certification for tropical climates. So India, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and so on, all it can be combined into this certification, the usage in those countries. And as well, we need, as we know, the European Union certification process also has been started in the end of last year. Actually, it already started. So let's see and wait when and what will happen here in Europe as well. But all right, this is just one animation picture, how cool it looks. But all right, let's start now. Well, let's continue with the main presentation. I will discuss briefly about history, what models or what technologies we already have in use, well, the humankind has, and why SKYWAY is here to stay. There are certain reasons for that one as well. But first, we will start with this slide. This was made by a visionary almost 100 years ago. And what I would always like to say or describe with this picture is that if you think about present nowadays, then we might understand and recognize that we have the perfectly constructed and developed first level infrastructure. We are not riding horses anymore or driving with very slow and engine burning fuel cars like about 100 years ago people were doing, or a little bit less even. And then we have these tramways, we have buses in developed countries already driving by green gas or by electricity, or at least going toward that. And then we have cars, many different manufacturing, always getting better and going also electrical. Then we have these scooters, we have bikes, self-driving bikes even, and electrical scooters. And then what else we have? Well, trains, of course, trams, as I mentioned. And then we have the underground system constructed as well. At least most of the bigger cities, they have this subways. So, but even though we have all these great underground systems and the first level infrastructures, we still are the concerns are rising about possible difficulties in the future, and actually these difficulties are in the present days as well. The traffic jams and the CO2 levels that are constantly high, and by electricity, well, by the electrical cars and vehicles, they try to take it to low as possible. But still, we have all different kinds of problems and social problems with transportation systems, these accidents and so on. And we just cannot tear down the houses or the buildings inside the cities because, because we need new roads. We just cannot do that. But the problems and the population the number of population is constantly growing and so on. So the only possible way and solution is to go to the second level, and that's why SKYWAY is here as well. But the humans have tried it before, and have successfully done it as well. As you can see on these slides, on the right side, for example, this monorail, but very massive again. All these constructions, it's quite slow, and then makes a lot of noise. Here is another picture of it. And for example, in United Arab Emirates in Dubai, they constructed about 5 kilometers of this track, this monorail track, and it cost about 70 million US dollars per kilometer, and that was more than 10 years ago. So just you can remind or remember this this number. I will later touch it again. This one is in Germany, in Berlin. Again, this supports what you can see by the river coast is well, they are very nearly located to one another. So yeah, to hold the construction above. Then in China we have this is basically like a tram but upside down. By technology it doesn't difference from tram a lot. And then we have this, most of the people know this technology by the name of cableway, or the boats as well. And it's most largely used in ski resorts and as well in bigger cities again, or resort cities or so on. Well, I have seen myself this in Thailand, sorry, in Vietnam on Phuket Island, for example. Then in Romania, Constanța, I have seen this. In Turkey, I have seen this. Yeah, but I know that in Russia there is, in the United States, and basically everywhere in the world there are some sort of these technologies. But what is the idea is that the pod or the model inside which the people are, or the cargo is, then this model is basically connected, or it's holding very stiffly to the cable itself. So the model doesn't move on the cable, but the cable moves, and the engine for it is located in one end of the way. So there is a big engine, like you can see on this picture, the orange one, and this one turns, and therefore the cables move as well. So they hold stiffly to the cable. So that's the technological part here. And then of course the metros, which I mentioned you earlier as well. But Mihkel, I welcome you today to the new age, where everything is going, by the way, toward electricity, towards CO2, toward minimizing the CO2 levels, and so on. And SKYWAY is a perfect technology because it uses 100% of electricity, and as you can see on this picture, it suits very well to the surrounding, both in nature and inside the cities. And the electricity itself can also be produced by the technology itself. So for example, we could use solar panels or wind turbines, and so on. I will show some pictures as well. But yeah, first point why SKYWAY is here to stay is that it is innovative. As you can see on this picture, it looks amazing. It's just brilliant, and it has its own, well, actually that's on the next slide. It has its own motor wheels, so the track structure stays well on the spot, but what moves are the pods, the unibuses, the unibikes. Those all these models have themselves the battery, the wheels to keep them running on the track structure. But this one is a unibus, and what is one more benefit of SKYWAY is that we can use both sides. We can use the upper side and the lower, well, the side what you can see on this picture right now, downside, so to say. And so we can simultaneously go in one directions at the same time with two models, or we can simultaneously move when one goes to one way and the other one goes to the other way, back and forth at the same time. But if we compare it with trains or tramways, then on one rail pair there can be only one model at the same time. but with SKYWAY we have 2 times higher efficiency. Then what is the patented, well, technological part here? Nothing is, so to say, absolutely new. Everything we have already has been existed here in the world, on this planet, but Dr. Anatoly Yunitsky has, well, has put all this together in the way that no one has done before. So therefore, what we have these pre-stressed strings, bunch of strings inside the rail structure. Then it's filled with special filler, and we can even put the holes or the pipes with different connection wires, for example, internet or Ethernet or electricity or so on. We can take them through the track structure itself as well. So that is also one, well, advantage if we think about, for example, African countries and the villages there. We could bring electricity to them as well. Then let's see what else we have. Yes, this is well, this is one picture from EcoFest 2019, and I recommend everybody to watch the video from YouTube. If you put or type my name into YouTube and find the channel, then there is this 1-minute short video, and you can see the great moments of SKYWAY EcoFest 2 years ago. Unfortunately, last year it happened virtually, so it was online event. But hopefully, well, I know already that it's possible to go and visit SKYWAY during the expo, and if and the greatest investors and promoters are even well are getting the chance to come along with the board members in one group to see Dr. Anatoly Yunitsky, to hear his speech, and to see all this innovation center in United Arab Emirates, and then visit the expo, of course. The second point is that it is ecological, and then, as I mentioned already, the CO2 levels are taken to minimum because, well, directly we do not produce any CO2 levels because it's fully electrical. And of course the wind resistance as well, because the models are shaped perfectly to cut the wind, and also there won't be any screen effect because well, if we compare it with cars, when cars drive on the road, then the wind goes below the car and there is the asphalt or the road which makes the impact, and that causes the wind resistance. But with SKYWAY we do not have this screen effect because the wind can go perfectly, we can flow perfectly underneath the models. Then all different kind of problems with the first level infrastructures also are not necessary after we have implemented thousands of kilometers of SKYWAY roads, and then it can reduce a lot of these resources or these costs to maintain the first level problems. And what is more with first level, well, constructing new railways, for example, is that we need to dig at least about 5 to 7 meters beneath the ground, and fill it with special fillers so the rail structure could hold it on the first level for trains. And of course we need to clear the path from forests or houses or whatever there can be. Then they will build the special fences in both sides, and there has to be a security area which is also covered by asphalt, usually about 4 meters on both sides. So this takes enormous space already from the ground, and the fences block the moving of animals. But with SKYWAY we can even uplift the road or the track structure about 100 meters above the ground, and then we can take it over the forests and so on, and then the animals or the humans can live perfectly and move perfectly underneath it, so that wouldn't be any problem. Then, yes, and this is also a beautiful picture I like to show how well it blends with the surroundings, and how high it can be, and it just needs supports. And the supports can be hundreds of meters from another support, so it's perfect technology, especially in the mountain areas and difficult, well, areas where it's difficult to construct roads. Because as we know, in India, for example, the one governor there said that with SKYWAY we can take the 8-hour drive to at minimum as 1.5 hours drive. So it's enormous time, wind time. And of course, rivers, lakes won't be a problem. It can be constructed inside those as well, and the seas. Let's see. Yes, and with seas, it's also great to know that we can even construct these special plateaus on the sea, 5 kilometers from the coastline, so the ship or the cargo can take their goods to the plateau, and from there the SKYWAY system can take it to the ground. So we don't have to construct new boards to the coastline directly. And of course, the enormous amount of cars and the population is growing, and therefore even the economical aspects or the economical, it's more positive inside among people. So almost everybody can afford a car who is capable of driving car and allowed by law. That person usually has a car these days as well. So that causes new problems, as I mentioned before. And inside the cities, for example, we just cannot tear down buildings to construct new, wider roads. So therefore, new solutions has to be thought of. And here it is, a new solution. Let's take it to the second level. We can maintain the first level infrastructure, it doesn't harm anybody, but on the second level we do not have any accidents. It's fully autonomous, so there is no driver inside the SKYWAY Unibus, and it's just brilliant technology. And it's safe as well. And now let's see how it's safe, because this question arouses a lot among politicians, among government, and among investors and people as well. So, well, at first it has this derailment system and the motor wheel system, which basically, if you turn it upside down, then it won't go anywhere. So it stays very stiffly and strongly there. So it holds very, very strongly, like a spider, to the rail structure. Then we have these 360 degrees cameras, both outside and inside. So if anything should come in the way, then it automatically stops, and then so on. So it has this smart solutions integrated. Then if anything happens with for example, Unibus on the track structure, then we have another Unibus, and both of them have these elements in front and in the back side, and then they attach with each other 100%, so they can either pull or lift the another model to the station or to the maintenance. And if that solution also doesn't work, then we have this special strap system, which can be put around the waist, and then people can lift themselves down. And quite recently there was a video, so you can go and search it up as well from your back office. Just go under the news section, and you will find this video there, the demonstration of the emergency descent system in SKYWAY's transport. And this man, well, he showed how it all works. He took the system underneath the seat and he attached it to the, as you can see on this picture, this way, and then around his body, and then lift himself down, and perfectly well. So everything has thought of. And I believe, honestly, I believe that it's much more safer than riding with train like this, or this way. So yes. All right, let's see. Fourth point is that we have our own models, we have products, and we're just not showing pictures or animations, but we really have all these models already existing and developed. Many of them are certified, as you know, now by Russia and Belarus, and also by tropical climate standards. And then this is not, of course, it. Then we have, well, here's one picture of the tropical unicorn. Very nice. And then we have these cargo containers. As you can see, the Unicant, which well, I showed you before, the picture of the smaller Unicant on the smaller track structure. And then this, what you can see on this picture, is meant for larger track structure, which will also be constructed in Innovation Center in United Arab Emirates, and it should be ready approximately, well, when the expo starts, or within some months now. So, and as you can see on this picture, also the great benefit is that the loading time is under 1 minute, and then the driving speed is from 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. And if you compare it with today's possibilities, for example, the trucks or the ships, then we know that the average speed is about 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. Well, all the stops that are necessary to do the mandatory stops, and then the traffic jams and so on. And then, and what else then? Well, we can with SKYWAY technology, we can take sea containers in multiple ways at the same time, riding both above and beneath the track structure, as you can see on this picture. And then the fifth point is that we have demand for SKYWAY everywhere. So we started from Republic of Belarus. We have made our way to United Arab Emirates. We know that work goes on in Europe, in many countries, as well in the States and in Canada, and all these tropical climate countries, Africa as well. So the work goes on actively every day, and it's just a matter of time when we will see this this manifestation come reality, and we see this vehicles, SKYWAY technology driving in most of the continents. And then when we will witness this with our own eyes, we can proudly say that, well, I'm also investor in this technology, and everybody who rides with it, some percentages of the profit will come to investors' pocket as well as dividends. This is why it's so great technology and great opportunity for all of us. The sixth point is that we have a strong and professional team. We have over 600 workers at the moment, and then we have several departments, and we have our own construction facilities. So we make all the vehicles by ourselves, and then design bureaus and so on, and also in Belarus and in United Arab Emirates. And seventh and the final point is that it is financially beneficial, and I left it out here last because it's, well, mostly it's the most important one, because all the governments and well, the supporters of other technologies also want to see it. Is it really that beneficial? We don't believe, and so on, but it is. All the calculations have been done, and they are constantly being renewed to compare with other similar, well, if we can say similar, but with other technologies. And then most of these technologies are also back from developing started a lot of time ago. But the monorail, as I mentioned before, here it's 36 million US dollars per 1 kilometer, and speed is up to 80 kilometers per hour. So therefore, why I'd say it's quite slow, and it's quite expensive. And as I mentioned before, in Dubai, when I did my research, 1 kilometer cost more than 70 million US dollars. So this average price here is well, this is the average price here, yeah. So there can be examples for much higher prices as well. And then, of course, the maglev we know, which is also very, very fast, but needs flat ground, as well as monorail needs quite flat ground, and the hyperloop needs flat grounds. So, but with SKYWAY we have no limits. We can basically put it in the mountains, we can put it in the sea, over the forests, inside the cities, between the cities, and so on. So there is no limitations like that. All right, and now the news section. Well, this is also quite well, few months ago already was announced, but nevertheless, I still like to well, refresh our memories of this. And the address project was announced in United Arab Media, and this is well, the address project should connect the Sharjah, not the innovation, but Sharjah city with a city called Korfakan, and it should be about 100 and a little bit more kilometers long, and for freight, so for cargo transportation, the sea containers mainly. But let's continue with great news. So we will take part in Expo in Dubai, which will start in October. So I recommend everybody to go there who has the capability to go there. But by the looks, this is the how the maquettes will be presented in how the SKYWAY system or the how it will be presented inside inside the hall where the expo takes place. So this is the smaller size, not reality size, but 10 times 1 to 10, I believe it was. I cannot recall at the moment the exact number, but it's but all the vehicles are moving on this maquette. But all right. Then we have many international media reports on SKYWAY achievements lately, and I will briefly tell you all about. Well, just tell you where we were presented. First of all, we were presented in United Arab Emirates, and then in French, India, CNN, Romania, United States, Australia as well. Then we were also covered by Out of Future publications, and in Vietnamese lately came out one great story about SKYWAY, which told about design, efficiency, and targeted projects, which I all recommend you to read from your back office. And of course, which was a surprise for me, but which is really nice, is that Korean media as well has wrote about UNITSC and about the SKYWAY technology. So we can say we have conquered all the world, at least in most of the bigger news channels we have been inside, and journals as well. But yeah, the mock-up is this is how it will look. And then it's much well, as you can see on this picture, how the size will be, and all these models will move here on this mock-up, and this should be also great. And the people or the governments or the companies who are interested in this technology, they can go and visit Innovation Center themselves and to see it in real life as well. So some final news. Also, the financial audit is out for year 2020, so everybody can see incomes, inflows, outflows of the money, and so on. And then yes, so it's really reliable, and it's possible to do the research your own. So nothing is in secret. All right, let's see what else we have. Then the Global Expo Marathon, which was extended by some time. So again, we have possibility today to invest and to gather more investors, and if they invest as well, then it will give us a chance to win a trip to United Arab Emirates among with board members, and we can go and visit the Innovation Center, the expo. It will all be, well, it will be all this packet which we will win. Then there is a nice hotel chosen for us, and so on. And there are different categories in which we can compete and take part of. So again, please visit often the back office yours. Go log in and check the news, watch what marathons or what competitions there are at the moment, or promotions, and then take part of it. I really recommend you do it, because then we will all see together each other, and we can go and visit and witness all this with our own eyes and experience it, and it will be really great, I promise you. But all right, at the last slide, I always like to show this picture. This is the Dalai Lama, who is giving blessing to Anatoly Nitsky, and said that this path which you have taken, it's not going to be easy, but eventually you will be successful. So continue, and the world needs this technology. These were Dalai Lama words. So very nice spiritual support we have, also enormous. And for today, for tonight, we are we are finishing our presentation, and next time we will meet is 22nd of September, the same time. And then I will tell you again about the technology, about the latest news. So be sure to be there and then invite people. And of course, you can look it up afterwards as well through YouTube channel, where this presentation is being uploaded as well. So take care of yourself, be healthy, be strong, make smart choices and moves, and then see you already in 2 weeks. All right, everybody. Goodbye.